Happy Halloween! Hi, I'm Allison. This is Fall on the Farm. And that's my chicken laughing at me. Let's go meet some of our little farm. Here we go. Let's go meet the pigs. Hi, Bella. Hi, Bolton. I brought snacks. And then we have Mullet and Checkers over here. Let's go down the chicken run and get you some snacks. Hi, Allison again. Thank you so much to everybody who watched Flosstube #1. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the opening with our pigs and our chickens. I'm going to talk more about them at the end of the video, as well as bring on at least one of our dogs. I've had a special request. Again, if you see me looking down, I have notes so I don't forget anything. And with that, we're going to jump right in. I want to, again, say a special thank you for everyone who watched the first Flosstube, liked the video, subscribed, commented. I got several amazing comments from all across the world. I'm actually shocked, very surprised. I didn't think very many people would watch it, so thank you, and I hope that you continue to enjoy it. I've got lots to show today, including some fun announcements and things that are going to be coming up, and we'll probably do another giveaway at the end. It's probably going to be the same thing, one of my charts, because I haven't come up with anything better, but I'll work on that. Quick housekeeping. I had some questions about why things weren't linked underneath in the comments below the video. When you first start a new YouTube channel, in order to be able to add links, you have to either provide your government ID to YouTube, so take a picture of your driver's license and send it to somebody somewhere, or you can wait 3 months and develop a watch history. So I elected to wait 3 months to develop the watch history. I just am not comfortable sending my ID to who knows who and where. So in the future, I'll be able to add links below. So for now, I'll just have to discuss it and talk about it. People following me on Instagram, thank you so much. Private Instagram accounts, if I know you, I follow you back. If I don't follow you back, please don't be offended because I don't know you. And with a private account, I never know if people want me to follow back. So if you do, you can always send me a message and let me know. Let's go to the quilts behind me. I have two today, and I do want to say I got this idea from watching actually technically 3 different people. Pat Sloan hangs quilts behind her a lot on her channel, and then also 2 Tall Stitchers. If you don't watch them, write it down. When you're done watching me, go over and watch them. They always have a quilt of the day, and today I have 2. This one is Bats and Booze, and both of these are free from that quarter shop. You can't really see the quilting, but it's all just stitch in the ditch because I like the design so much I didn't want to quilt over it. This was 2 years ago, I believe. My label's up in the top somewhere. It wasn't this year, and it wasn't the year before. It was the year before that, because this was the year before. This one was called Boo Crew, and both of these also have a free cross stitch. So if you go to Fat Quarter Shop and you Google them, you can find the free cross stitch. And they did do one this year. I started it, but I didn't finish it. This one, I think you can probably see some of the quilting. I quilted this on my long arm. It's got spider webs, it's a nice design on there. So we're keeping with the Halloween theme one more time. Those are my quilts. Now, I have FFOs to start with, and I apologize. One of them is in glass. It's the one that I had in my opening, so we'll see how this goes. And I did frame this myself. This is Fall on the Farm. Yep, we're gonna get some glare. So I'll come in and see if I can't show some close-ups. You can kind of see it. I think if I hold it back a little further and tilt it away from the windows, it's kind of crooked then, but you can see it. This is stitched on 16 count, beautiful beige, and I use sulky threads one strand, and I just picked my own colors. There's a little story with this one too. Let me see if I can get the first one in focus here. There we go. Can you see her hair's brown? My natural hair color is brown, and I changed it to blonde. And if you look further, we'll go down. Let me find the next one with the little lady. You see how her hair is orange? Her hair's orange because if you have brown hair and you want to lighten it, it takes 2 or 3 tries. And in between brown and blonde, you'll either turn traffic cone orange or bright pink. And I turned traffic cone orange, but that was okay. I knew it was coming. So here she's a redhead. And here she's a redhead next to my redheaded husband. And then the last one, let me see, she's blonde. So it has a little story that goes with it. And what's fun about the whole hair coloring thing, I'm going to set this down. Again, sorry for the weird leaning. There we go. My husband actually helped me bleach my hair. We did it during COVID when people really weren't going anywhere. Neither one of us ever stopped working. We both work in the medical field. So we were busy, and honestly not much changed for me, except I didn't go out. If I was going to go out shopping on the weekend, I didn't do that. I researched. I found some at-home bleach. I had him help me with it. And I was painting the front, you know, with those little paintbrushes if you go get your hair done. And he was doing the back. And I didn't realize at the time he had gloves on, and he was going like this. And he was squeezing. So he wasn't smoothing it, he was squeezing. So after the first round of bleach, I had tiger stripes. And not only were they striped, but they were, you know, FedEx truck orange stripe. If you've seen that, or this, they were orange. That's when I learned about toner. So if you're ever interested in bleaching hair and using toner, lots of good videos out there. But that was a fun adventure. So more FFOs. I have some for me and some for my mom. I finished my monthly markings November. And if you watched my first Flosstube, you got to see January through October. I'm stitching these on Lori Holt Vintage Cloth 10 Count Heritage. I add the month myself to the bottom, and you can't really see it, but my initials and the date is down there. I'm picking my own colors, closely mirroring the pattern, but I have some Weeks Dye Works, and I'm using that for these. This is Lori Holt Vintage Cloth and just scrap fabric. There's magnets on the back that helps it stick to my little biscuit tin. That's my first FFO. My second is my design I was working on last time, and I did finish it. So this one's available in my Etsy shop. This is called Gingerbread Lane. I have this stitched on 14 count fabric flare white snow on aqua dyed effect. I'm going to come in closer. You see how it looks like snow? That's part of the fabric, so you don't have to stitch the snow. Ooh. I finished this with this tray. The tray was unfinished wood, but I stained it to give it a nicer color. And I've got 1, 2, 3 layers of sticky board. And this fabric is from the Christmas Adventure fabric line. Sorry, I'm talking behind the tray, and I don't know if it affects the volume. What's fun about this is, I need to set this down. I ordered some of these. They're the tart tins. You can get them at Fat Quarter Shop, and then they have the sticky circles that fit inside. And I actually checked with customer service before I ordered to make sure I ordered the right size. So this is the size for the tart tins. It'll focus. Now this is on 14 count. And here's one of these little sticky circles. You can see it will fit one of these houses And it'll even fit that little lamppost next to it. So if you need some smalls or Christmas ornaments, shameless self-plug, head over to my shop. All the funds go to animal care. I'll talk more about that later too. You can get gingerbread lane, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 houses. You can make 4 ornaments. All of these colors too, you can change and make your own, make it look different, make it look how you want to make it. You can stitch it all together. If you don't like stitching text, you can just stitch one house. You can put a lamppost on either side. You can do a lot of things with this. My charts tend to be on the smaller side because I'm always pressed for time, but I like to include different motifs so you can move things around or change colors if you like and make it something that's your own. And all my charts, I draw myself, I design myself, I stitch myself, so that's another reason why I don't have more in the shop. Sorry, I said I'm trying not to say that. I'm gonna try and keep that to a minimum. Ha! Minimum, again, weird sense of humor if you saw the first one. My mom's going to stitch Gingerbread Lane too, so you'll see that coming up in another Flosstube, and she's gonna stitch it on this fabric. It's a minty green opalescent. There you go, you can see the sparkle. So I can't wait to see that. It'll be fun to see it stitched on a different fabric. I have one more FFO of mine. And I've got a stack here, I don't want anything to tip over. This is Happy Farm Girl by Lori Holt. I'll come in so you can see the stitching. And I stitched this, oh, that's Libby. There was a noise and now she's barking. Libby! Okay, we'll keep going. This is stitched on 14 count Pale Parchment Dyed Effect by Fabric Flair. Sorry. I'm reading a sticky note on the back and I'm trying not to talk behind it. Here, let's do this. I'll just take this. I use the Called For Aura Floss. This is Lori Holt Vintage Trim. I have 3 layers. I started with the yellow that's kind of underneath and on top of the fabric, and then I did blue, and then I did yellow. So there's 3 layers of trim under the cross stitch. This is stitching with the Housewives denim stripe fabric, and that's just on sticky board. These are Lori Holt's 1/4 inch cute little buttons. And this tray came with the other tray. They were a set of nesting trays. And again, I stained it. You're going to see some tape on the back where my sticky note was. But I stained it to give it a better color instead of having it be the plain wood color. I'm going to put my note back on there. I do a good job on my Instagram putting what I stitch things with, the fabric and the floss and everything, but then if I take it off the wall, I have to go back to my Instagram and look it up. I'm going to set these down. And now I have some fun FFOs from my mom to show. And she gave me some of the patterns. This one is Moon and Spider Apple Cider. It says Needlework Press. Looks like she got this at the attic. Sorry, it's in plastic, but that's the pattern. And here's her stitch, and she did the finishing. These are fun. These are just little clips. Like if you squeeze it, it'll come out. And Mom is very organized. See? So this is stitched on. It's called Linen Ada. She did get it at the attic. It's 18 count fabric. It's mounted on 7 by 7 inch sticky board, and looks like DMC Ecru, B5200, and a Toile. So one of them's the sparkly, and a Weeks Dye Works. Put that back in the. I need two hands to do this. I'm going to put that back in. And we'll go ahead and put that on the back. And she stitched this really fast. Started on 9:29 and finished on 10:11. I'm going to set that down. Okay, the next one, this is fun. This is from the 2023 Halloween Cross Stitch magazine. So it's this one. Quaker Style Halloween Sampler. That's really nice. Look at that nice frame too. I believe she picked up this frame. There's no stamp on the back or anything, so she didn't get a frame somewhere. Let's see. Pumpkin 16 count fiber on a whim. So that orange fabric, that's what that is. 3 strands of 310 black and 2 strands of B5200 white. So we've got a combination of a 3-strand and a 2-strand. What's nice about this frame, now this is taped in, we took this out, but there's a little hole and it sticks in the hole and sticks out so it'll stand out, but we didn't want to lose that, so we taped that on the back. Great job, Mom. Now comes the big one. So Mom's being a little bit of a show off here. I'm just kidding. Are you ready? This is big. And this one she had professionally framed at the attic, and it took a really long time because their supplier was so backlogged, but once they got the frame they did it really quickly. This is called Halloween and Cross Stitch. Let's see. Something French? I'm not sure. Anyway, it's 210 by 240 stitch count. I'm going to hold up the pattern. Let me take out the plastic. Okay. This is the pattern. Okay. And it's a big pattern. It's got several pages. So I'm going to put it back in so I don't lose any of the pages. So put that back in. And I'm probably going to have to slide back. So again, this was framed at the attic, which from my house, it's nowhere near my house. So I've been there once. It's like a day trip in my mind. Sorry, dropped something. Okay, this is 16 count Ada fabric flare in historic beige using the DMC floss. Yeah, there's the designer in the title again. I'm not even going to try to read that. But here it is. I'll hold it back and then I'll bring it in and show the stitching. Isn't that pretty? Let's go in. Those are so cute. Little thimbles and spools on a shelf. Here we'll go top to bottom. Looks like a floss drop, some scissors. I'm not sure what that is with the pumpkin. Just a charm maybe. Little shoe pin cushion. Okay. Another pin cushion and the fancy lady standing on the pin cushion. I like that part of it. I like the lady. Some tea. I have to sort of stick my head around to see what I'm doing. Isn't that cute? That's really nice. Show me I could have the pattern and stitch it. I think just stitching the lady in the dress would probably take me several weeks. I might stitch it at some point. It's very pretty. Yay! Those are FFOs. So thank you to Mom for lending me those. And then I thought I would go through, let's go this way. I've got my little basket down here. Oh, I'll show you what everything is sitting in. I keep my, sorry, apparently somebody was at the door. There's probably a box. I may need to pause and go get that. I keep my projects, my whips, the things that I'm working on, in this little cart I bought off Amazon, and I can't link it below. I don't have the watch history yet. But you should be able to see it on my phone. That's what it's called. And it's on wheels. It's really short. And this little top piece and the basket, you can switch them. So if you want the basket on top and then the solid part underneath, you can do that. So for my whips, I do have them in a basket. And I am going to pause. I'm going to go check and see what's on the front stoop. And I'm back with a dog since I had to pause. Hi, Libby. Thank you. Oh, thank you. This is Libby. I don't think I'll get her to look at the camera. You can't see, but she's wagging her tail. She's always wagging her tail. Guess what? Oh, it's so stinky. Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and put her down. Let her go sit on the couch. Say hi to Fran. Hi, Fran. I've got dog lick on me. Libby was a stray. She's still walking around down there. That's okay. And Libby was found in a box with several other puppies that were dumped in the neighborhood of a friend of mine who does dog sitting. And everybody in the neighborhood who could take a puppy took a puppy, and she ended up with Libby. But she already has so many dogs, and she dog sits and has 20 to 30 dogs in her house every day. So she knew us and asked if we would take her. So we did. And we'll get to whips in a minute. And at the time, Libby weighed 3 pounds. Right now she's about 8.5 pounds. So almost 3 times the size. And it took forever to potty train her. We used to have to get these little tiny little diapers and put diapers on her. But she's potty trained, and we've had her for several years now. And a couple years after we got her, she had her first seizure. And we never had a dog with seizures, and we didn't know what happened and what was wrong. So we ran her to the emergency vet. She had to go to a neurologist. She got diagnosed. It takes forever to get all the medications right. So long story short, she's still on medication, pretty well balanced. It was about a month since her last seizure. We'd like it to be about 3 months, but she's happy. She's doing well. The only other thing she has too, she has weird hair loss. Like she has spots on her side that just have no hair. It falls off and grows back. Nothing wrong with her. Blood work's good. So she's a fun and funny little dog. She's always wagging her tail. Okay, sorry. Back to whips. Now I don't have the pattern for this one because it's up on my stand is back there. This one I've abandoned all hope of finishing this before Halloween. This is called Hold Tight by Twin Peak Primitives. And it's 2 chickens riding a broom, like you're going to be able to tell. There you go. That's the front of one chicken, and here's the tail and the body of the other chicken. We've been really busy, had some unexpected things come up, so I haven't had as much time to stitch as normal. The fabric's 14 count, fabric flare, tiny cobwebs. This white, for some reason, took me forever, and you can see the pattern in here. That took a long time too. So I think what I'm going to do with this one is keep it in my rotation and maybe pull it out a couple times a month and keep working on it and see how much progress I can make. I'm not going to try and finish it before Halloween. I'm keeping this in one of my project bags. I made this one. I had some in my shop, but they sold out. But stay tuned, I've got some project bags to show you. Ta-da. Again, I really enjoy making these. I do work. Sorry, I said again. I work and we have our animals. It gets really busy. I also sew and quilt if you didn't watch the first one, so I have some quilting to show you. Next, I have my temperature cross stitch. This is a fat quarter shop pattern. I'm caught up through, let's see, it's down here. It's on the bottom of the cart. I'm stitched up through October 22nd, and I'm filming on October 25th, so not bad. I decided in my infinite wisdom to stitch both a high and a low instead of the average. Probably not the best idea, but I wanted to be able to have a variety of temperatures. I'm in Arizona, where it's either kind of hot, really hot, or just stupid hot. So I didn't want the whole thing to be red. So I decided to stitch 2 of them. As an example, I'll show you my high temperatures. See all this red? We're still in the red. We had a couple cooler days here, but even now, when I went and I got that package off the porch, the driver left it in complete sun, and it's just hot. It's baking out there. I think we're going to be in the 90s today. So let me bring that in. I don't think I'll do a temperature stitch next year, and I think I have Libby hair on my nose. Excuse me. I don't like having to try and keep up with things that have so many color changes. These are the low temperatures, so this one's more fun. It has a lot more color variation, and we actually had these dark blues. We had a cold winter at the beginning of the year, and this thread pack, so low, high, I added 2 additional reds because it gets so hot here, and I've used every color in the thread pack except for one of the really dark blues because it just didn't get that cold. I will keep up with these. I'll keep showing you these until these are done. Let's go to the next one. Oh, well, I did pull it out, but I didn't stitch. I showed this last time. I am going to get back to the chicken clubs. I had intended to start stitching on this one again, but it was just one of those months. Okay, I think that's it. Let's see what's in this. Nope. What I have to start is the monthly markings December, but that pattern is somewhere else. So those are my current whips. Wow, I really do have a dog hair somewhere. Excuse me. There. Hopefully I got it. Upcoming. Some of you probably already know about this one. If you have this book, and I bought it a couple years ago, this Bonnie and Camille Quilt Bee book, it's got quilt and cross stitch in it. I missed the first stitch along, which I obviously intended to do as I have the thread pack. And this again, this was Fat Quarter Shelf. I don't think they still have these. I bought this probably 2 years ago. This is Cosmo thread. I want to go ahead and stitch it. And this starts in November, and on their blog, they posted the schedule. Me and my plastic. Sorry, I have it in a sheet protector. I'll pull it out. So you can find that on Fat Quarter Shelf's blog. You can kind of see the schedule. I think I'll actually be able to keep up with this. It's not so many color changes. I want to start this one. This starts in November, and I also want to start the quilts. When I bought the book, this one, I started collecting some of the Bonnie and Camille fabric as it went on sale. So I have a little pile of it, so I really should make the quilt. And the quilt is also starting in November. And same blog. Sorry, I'm leaving that in the plastic. You can read the blog. But they have the schedule for that. So that starts in November, and it runs through October of next year. For the cross stitch, I measured, and this piece should be big enough. I'm going to use this 14 count gray gingham fabric flare. I really do like 14 count. It's, you know, what I learned on many years ago, and it's really easy for me to see. I do have some other counts, and I'll probably be trying some new stuff next year, but not yet. Now, this is exciting for me. Okay, I was watching Two Tall Stitchers. If you don't watch them, you need to watch them. And not their most recent video, but the video before, which I think is number 44. The daughter held up, and her name is Jennifer. The daughter held up some patterns that she bought somewhere. I think she got them at a discount, and I looked at them and went, I've had those patterns since 2010. And I have. And I have the envelope. Let me cover my address that it came in. And I think you can, yep, you can actually see. September 13th, 2010. I ordered these from 123 Stitch, and I have yet to stitch them. These are the green flips by Lizzie Kate, and you can still find them on 123 Stitch. So when I saw Jennifer hold them up, I sent her an email or a message on Instagram, and I said, hey, you know, I've been following you on Instagram. I watch you and your mom on Flosstube. I have those patterns. Do you want to do a stitch along? And she got back to me and said, sure, but we're going to wait until next year so everybody can get through the holidays. You can stitch these, or if you've got some other Lizzie Kate, a Lizzie Kate series, we haven't worked out the details, but we're going to do this sometime in January. So I will show you these green flips. There's 6 in the series, and then you can go to the website, and this is still there. I printed it not too long ago. If you want to stitch them in a row, you go to the website on the back of the patterns, and you can download this for free. So I'm not showing anything I shouldn't be showing, but if you want to stitch them in a row, you can do that. I may stitch them individually, and they all come with, let's see if I can show it. It's taped on the inside. They all have a really tiny little button on the inside, but I can't show it because then I'm showing the chart. So this one is called Plant a Tree. Focus. There we go. Ride a Bike. And again, these are Lizzie Kate patterns. You can go to 123 Stitch and search for Lizzie Kate green flips, and they'll come up. This one is Be Kind to Animals. And these are small. Stitch count, let's see. Stitch count is 40 by 63. If you stitch them all together in the row, there they are in the row, and you can see the stitch count of the whole thing. Okay. The next one is Keep Our Air Clean. Eat locally. Oh, and you know what, right there, that's the little button that comes with the charts. It's a little tiny yellow flower. And Save Water. I haven't picked my fabric or threads or anything yet. Again, we're working out the details, so make sure you go watch Two Tall Stitchers. They're funny too, so very entertaining. And the mom also does knitting and embroidery, and Jennifer showed her long arming on one of her videos, which was fun. And I said, again, I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep a jar and make myself put $1 in it or something like that. So that's coming in January, so stay tuned for more on that. Just for fun, something different. I hope you guys are having a good time. You got your stitching and hanging out. I made this needle book. This charm is from Flamingo Toes. It's an enamel charm. The needle book is Lori Holt Fabrics, mostly the cookbook fabric line. And this is also her trim. It was her video. You can go to YouTube and put in Lori Holt Needlebook. And let me open it. I have to untie it. It's designed to, carry your needles and everything, and you can hold a spool of floss. You can also put lip balm in here. I'm going to pull this out, otherwise it'll fall. This is felt. And this little felt cutout, I have a die for my AccuQuill, and it makes a pincushion, and it has this cute little sewing machine shape on it. These are some of those buttons again. This is another Flamingo Toes charm. This is a little pocket. I can actually tuck small scissors in here, which is nice. This is a needle threader. It just kind of sticks in the felt. This is another AccuQuilt die that had heart shapes on it. And the spool shape also came off that pincushion die. Different kinds of needles on there. Some straight line stitching here, and she goes over that in her how-to video. Another random felt cutout. Look, there's a pair of scissors. It will fit small scissors. If you travel a lot, this is a great way to make sure you've got different kinds of needles, needle threader, extra needle minder, things that you might need. You can put in it whatever you need. There's the thread. And this is stitched in so this doesn't fall off, and then you just tie it in a bow. I wanted to try making something different. Mine did not come out as big as the one on the video, and I watched the video a few times, and then I watched it and I wrote down all the measurements, and mine still came out kind of small, but it's fine. It's very cute. It's about 4 inches. So let's see what I bought. There's some cross stitch and some quilting. I did get the next chicken, even though I'm only on number 3. I'm buying them as they come out. This is Penny, which is 10 of 12. That way I don't forget to pick one up. There was a new Fabric Flare 14 count. It's called Gray Fairy Dust. Sorry, it's in plastic, but you can see it. I'm honestly not sure what I'm going to stitch on that. When I got it, I realized it looked a little bit like, I don't know, UFOs or Cosmos or something. I guess it could also be, it could be Christmassy. I think it depends which way you tilt it. I did get the So Stitchy coaster set. I really need to stop watching live streams because then I see all these fun things and say, oh, these are cute. My excuse is I need coasters in my sewing room. So it's a set of 4 coasters. They're very reflective, shiny, cork on the back. They're stone coasters. This is 1, 2. They're very cute. They will look good in my sewing room. 3. Here's one for all the cross stitchers out there. Very cute. They were a fair price for coasters too. So those are going to go in my sewing room. What else is back here? Oh, a quilt kit, which I need, like, I think my mother used to say you need that like you need a hole in the head. But I want to make this quilt. It's a big one. This is the High Tea Quilt Kit. It's the Drawing Room Fabric by Pat Sloan. It's different for me. Normally I make very girly, flowery, you know, these color kinds of things. So this with the purple and the blue and the brown, and there we go. That's going to be different. It'll be a little bit of a challenge. You can't, well, you can kind of see the pattern. The pattern's in here. Sorry. I didn't open it yet. This doesn't start until the end of November. If you want more information on this sew along, you can watch Pat Sloan on YouTube. And some of this actually was paid for with a gift certificate for my mom. Thank you, Mom. I made her a quilt, and the quilt was a gift, and she turned around and gave me a gift certificate. Now you know I have to go buy another gift. This is Hush Hush 3. This is the 3rd collection in this Hush Hush line. And I bought some yardage from the 1st line and the 2nd line, a flamingo print from the 1st line, and then a spool print from the 2nd line. And then of course I have bundles, which I have yet to make something with, but we're not going to talk about that. What I'm going to show next is I'm going to have some project bags coming to the shop. And there's a little story behind these project bags. I pulled fabric for these holiday project bags probably 2 months ago. I starch all my fabric, iron it all. I do all my starching and ironing in big batches. In fact, my mom usually comes over and she likes to iron. So she'll iron for me and then I'll finish her cross stitch, which is really nice. So thanks, Mom. Like I said, I pulled these fabrics, I don't know, probably 2 months ago. Spray starched, ironed it. They've been sitting there. I started it, I put them together, and I was stitching one night and I was watching Stitchy Friends. Hi, Stitchy Friends! It's great, another great Flosstube if you don't watch them. And Sarah held up a winter project bag, and I just about burst into tears because it was the same fabric that I had pulled. And I thought, oh, I don't want people to think I'm copying. I couldn't believe it. Out of all the Christmas fabric in the world, it was the same fabric line. So I had them half sewn, waiting to be put together, and I let them sit for another week or two, and I finally decided I'm going to go ahead and finish them because I started them. It's not my intent to have the same thing as someone else. Guess we thought of the same thing around the same time. Then I decided to do something different. So I have 4 of these. I did something different. Oh, there goes the alarm. We just did the medicine. And 2 of them are $1 less than the other 2, and I'll explain why. So I have 4 of these. They'll be in the shop by the time I release the video. These are the project bags. These are wool felt applique. I cut these out. They're on with steam-a-seam, so they're ironed out and then they're quilted over. So each bag has 2 different snowflakes. These are the front. And these are the nice by Annie zippers. So these are a bigger zipper pull. And I was going to put ribbon on them. I thought I had Christmas ribbon, but I had Christmas washi tape. It wasn't ribbon. So there's no ribbon on the zipper pull, sorry. But you get these cool snowflakes, and they're fuzzy. This is the back. You can see the quilting. I kept it very simple because the fabric has a lot of personality. And same on the front. It's pretty simple quilting. On the inside, I have a white snowflake print. I have a serger. So the inside of my bags, let's see if I can pull a seam out. I serge all of the seams so they don't get fuzzy on the inside. And I made some custom tags. This is my first time making the tags. So they say AZfamilyzoo. Is it going to focus? There we go. And they're in as a loop. So if you have, let me get my fingers out of the way and let me see if I can separate that. There you go. If you use a loop, you know, one of those rings and hang your floss on it, it's on the inside on the front, so it'll hang down on the inside. So you can put clips, scissors, loops, whatever, anything you want on this. If you're not a stitcher, if you're a quilter, you can put quilt blocks in these. I have the measurements in my Etsy shop, and I made 2 with the gray on the top, and these are the same. And then I have 2 that have blue on the top. And these are the same. Here's the back of that one. Now I'm going to explain to you why 2 of them, and I'll show them to you close up. 2 of them are $1 less than the other 2. This is my first time doing this kind of applique with the felt and the steam-a-seam, and I need to be a little more careful with my cutting. I had a small mistake. Can you see it right there? There's just I was a little bit short on my felt right there. So that happened on one of the gray top bags and on one of the blue top bags. I'll show you close up so you can see if you're looking into buying one of these. And by the time I noticed it, everything was ironed down. I was already doing all the quilting. There's really no way to take them apart, but they're all, you know, they're all made the same. The serging and everything. They're well made. Sorry, I'm kind of particular about how I make things and what I will sell. And I almost thought about not selling them, and I thought, well, I'll just put them in at $1 off. They're not perfect, they're handmade. If you look at them, I'm listing them each individually in the Etsy shop, so you'll be able to see the price difference. So look for these. There's only 4, that's all I've had time to do. And I thought I would show some scissor fobs that I made that are in my shop. I've got 2, 4, I have 7 left. And these are mood bead scissor fobs. So they all come with a chart. Do you remember mood beads? I used to have a mood ring when I was a little girl. This one has a little stork scissor at the bottom. And that's the mood bead in the middle. I'll rub my finger on it and you'll see it'll change from brown to something. These are all gemstone beads. The details are in the listings, and what's called a fire cut crystal. There you go. See, it turned green. So that one's got the stork at the bottom. Then we have one that's got, it says number 10 silk cord on it, but it looks like the thing you wrap your floss on. I've got a couple of these left. And these have the, focus please. There we go. It's a clip, so it opens. This would hang inside the bag. And I've got 2 of these blue button ones left. These beads are painted porcelain. So this is a gemstone, a painted porcelain, and a crystal. The mood bead is in the middle. And it's got this cute little button. And I use a jewelry wire. It's run through twice in between. And they're crimped and they're sealed. There's something called a jewelry crimper. The crimp is underneath inside this little bead. And then you put the bead on top, and then I also put jewelry sealer on it. And then I have one left of this one. It's got painted sunflower beads, a bee, and a scissor charm at the bottom. There's the scissor charm and the bee. And the painted sunflower bead, and then the mood bead is in the middle. And again, everything goes to animal care, and I did a bad job explaining that last time. I really hope this isn't too long. I have no concept of it since I've had to stop and start the video a few times. And I made myself a note to talk about the Etsy really quick. So you know, I started the Etsy account in 2019. The reason I started it was I had my animal Instagram. I've had that for 8 years now, and people kept asking to send us money. And we didn't want to take people's money. And I thought, well, I've always wanted to try jewelry making. Why don't I make some jewelry? So I was making jewelry, and I would post pictures every now and then. People said, you should sell it. And I thought, oh, that's a great way for me to make something, you know, and now I have things like the scissor fobs, and put it in the shop. So the shop started with jewelry, and that way people could buy something and get something and help the animals. So that's why it started, and it was actually doing pretty well with the jewelry. It was starting to pick up, and then COVID hit and everything stopped. I shut down the shop for a while because when you have listings on Etsy, they last for a certain period of time, and if they renew, you have to pay. So you can freeze your shop so that nothing renews, so you're not losing money on that. And even after, I think I kept it shut about a year, jewelry never really picked back up. People don't have as much disposable income. I still think people aren't going out as much. I felt really bad. I met people over the years who that was their main source of income, and they just had to shut down. So I've changed and put in some more, you know, quilting things, cross-stitch things, stuff like that. But again, it's to help us with the animals. Now, I do have a website. I don't have a card over here, but it's linked in the profile of the video, AZfamilyzoo.com. It does have a donate button on it because some people do like to donate, and I want to say thank you to GS. You know who you are. Thank you so much for your donation. And I think I mentioned this last time, but just in case, it is not tax deductible. We are not currently a nonprofit. We're looking to do that. Okay, detour, sorry. I'm going to show a little bit of quilting, and then I have some thank yous and the giveaway winner, and then I'll put animal stuff at the end. I really hope this isn't too long. I thought I would share, I mentioned last year I did the 14 count fabric flare club with Fat Quarter Shop. This year I did a quilting fabric club. I did the solid club. And the project for the year is this sandpiper quilt. Hold that up. The pattern's in black and white. And every month you get a bundle, different colors. They're bird themed. So the latest bundle is purple, marten, Kona, cotton. This was the October bundle. Sorry, I'm reading upside down. To give you an example, it's got 12 fat quarters in it. These are all starch folded and ironed because I already pulled what I needed for the block. You get a lot of fabric. I'm going to pull out whichever one is on top, and I'll show you what I cut to go into the quilt block for the month. That's all I cut. So see how much I have left? Now, one thing that I do like about this pattern that they selected, squares and half square triangles. All the blocks are the same. And I have the right size AccuQuilt cube for it. So at the beginning of the year, I took my background fabrics, here's an example, and I cut as many as I would need for the year. So every month when I get the color, all I have to do is cut, and then I can sew the color blocks. So I thought I'd show the color blocks. Can give you an idea of what you get. And if you don't like quilting, you can fast forward. This was this month's. That was the purple marten. And I don't remember all of these, which month they are or which bird they are, but you can Google the solid, or look up the Solid Club on their website and you can figure it out. I think this one was green parrot. I have no idea what this one was. It's yellow and orange. You can see each month has a different color theme. I think the year before they did gemstones, and some of these have thread on them. You only need to make one block a month, and then at the end of the year, you'll have your quilts. This one, I was going to say Blue Jay, but I think Blue Jay is at the beginning. Again, I don't remember. They were bird themed. I didn't look them all up, but I thought I would share the colors for you. This one's one of my favorite. This one has some greens, purples, blues, even a little bit of gray. This I remember, this was the flamingo. Don't remember what bird this was. Just a couple more. 2 more. This one's a lot of fun too. A lot of different colors in that one. And I think this was the Blue Jay. And I've been able to keep up with this, which is nice. It's only one block a month. And having the pattern ahead of time and being able to pre-cut the solids, the backgrounds, that I needed, means when you get it, all you have to do is cut the colored and then you can sew it together. And I keep everything in, that's a bag I got from Fat Quarter Shop, big shocker. This nice big bag, so I don't lose anything and don't lose track of anything. So I keep it all together. Okay, I want to give some thank yous and then we'll do our giveaway winner. And if you're still here, high five, ready? Thank you for hanging in there. I had some Flosstube mentions. I want to say thank you to the following Flosstubers and apologize because I cannot link below. Again, mentioned at the beginning of the video. Here we go. Thank you to Stitchy Friends. Thanks for mentioning us and talking about our animals and showing our patterns. And then from, I believe, England, if I'm wrong, let me know. Stitching with my, I'm going to say it wrong, Little E, L-I-T-T-L-I-E. They're great. There's mother-daughter Flosstube, lots of fun. Look them up. They stitched and shared a lot of my squared patterns, so thank you so much. I follow both of you on Instagram too, which is great. Got a mention on August 1823 Stitchers. That was fun, and I appreciate it when you have a Flosstube and you mention me and you tag me. That way I don't miss you. But August 1823 Stitchers, we were mentioned because of Myrtle's appearance, so Myrtle feels like a celebrity. Get it? Because she's a shell and she's a tortoise. But that was lots of fun. Sorry, I can't help myself. And then Stitchin' and Quiltin'. So no G's on those, and with an N. Tagged me in her video. So thank you for that, and I watched your video. If I forgot you and you mentioned me, let me know, and I'll mention you next time. I did the random comment picker. So giveaway winner, and I'm giving away one of my charts from my Etsy shop, so you can go to the shop, look in there, and then email me at azfamilyzoo@gmail.com. So A like apple, Z like zoo, family zoo. So azfamilyzoo, all one word, at gmail.com. Sorry, my nose itches again. And the winner, your Google or your YouTube name is CrossStitcher2236. Again, that's CrossStitcher2236. Thank you for watching, and thank you for commenting and entering. And what I will do, let's see. Oh, I have to, when you email me, I think you have to tell me that you're over 18. Pick a chart, email me, I'll send you a chart. So thank you. And I will give away another chart with this one. And I did come up with a question, so I have a question. If you could answer the question, that way I know you want to enter the giveaway. Don't use words like giveaway, free, win, any of that stuff. Sorry if I'm talking fast. I feel like it's really long. If you want to enter, the question I have is, with your favorite designers, how often do you like them to come out with new charts? Or how many charts a year do you like to see? I'm trying to increase the amount of charts in my shop. My problem is always time. It takes me a while to do the design and then to print it, and then I test stitch it, and more often than not I end up changing colors. And whenever, that's part of the reason why my why this one here didn't get much work done, is after I started this I came up with gingerbread lanes, so then this got put on the back burner so I could get gingerbread lanes stitched in the shop. So I'd really like to know how often you like to see charts from your favorite designers. That would be great, and that will let me know, if you answer that you're entering the giveaway. And I'll do the same thing for this time. I don't really have anything else right now. I'll come up with something. I'm sure I have a duplicate chart on my stack somewhere. But let me know how often you like to see new charts from your favorite designers. And last, well, before the animal stuff, if you're stitching any of my charts, posting them on Instagram, please tag me so I can look at them, share them in my stories, and so I can see them. Thank you. I am going to move on to stuff from our animal sanctuary, and I'm going to tag on more pig and chicken video at the end. If you're done and you're not interested in the animals, thank you so much for watching. I hope you come back next time. I hope I managed to keep you entertained. I know I made my chicken laugh in my Halloween costume. That was fun. It's really hot out here, believe it or not, and I was just sweating in that costume for the little bit of time I had that on. Okay, I did have a question about our sanctuary. Do we have cats? No. I'm allergic to cats. Horribly allergic to cats. If I get near somebody who's been holding a cat, petting a cat, close to a cat, I'll actually start to itch. And that's like, so if I meet somebody and all of a sudden I'm like doing this and this, I'll look at them and say, do you have a cat? And they have a cat. So no cats. We also do not have snakes. Ugh. Ugh. No snakes. And we do not have bunnies. We have wild desert cottontail rabbits, and the dogs like to chase the rabbits outside in the yard. They never chase them very far, but they bark at them and they chase them. So we don't have bunnies. Bunnies live a very long time, bunnies and rabbits, and they need attention like dogs, and they need to be out and they need to hop around, and our dogs chase them. So no bunnies. I'm gonna take a quick drink. Okay. Before I tag on the rest of the pig and the chicken, I thought I'd share some of our animal happenings because people sometimes have questions about it. Myrtle around Labor Day weekend had to go to the emergency vet. And this is all on my blog. In fact, I can bring it up and I can show you my website and my blog because I don't record on my phone. I record on a camera. So I'm opening it up. Excuse me for looking down. This is the website. Sorry for the glare. And that right there is the lovely Daisy who passed away in June. And we miss her very, very much. So this is my website. I have to say I accept cookies. And I maintain the website. I had some help building this. I host it through GoDaddy, but I do all of there's a thing to sign up to get the blogs that doesn't get sold. It doesn't go anywhere. I maintain all of that. I handle the shop. I handle everything. You can scroll down. This is a little bit about us. There's also a gallery, so you can see some images. So you can click to look at the gallery. Here's where you sign up if you want to read our blog. And then this is the donate button on the bottom. Again, it is not tax deductible, so you know. If you go to the top and click the menu, sorry, I'm doing this backwards and upside down. Let's see, blog. Let me turn it around. There we go. Okay, and on your phone, it loads the menu at the top. Just scroll down to get to the bottom of the menu. I've been told there's no way around that. It displays correctly if you're on a computer. Here we go. So, the latest blog. There's a picture. Myrtle had a trip to the emergency vet. It's all detailed here. You can actually see in this picture here, she's sitting by a syringe. We had to give her an injection. This was an incredibly expensive trip to the vet, but this is part of what we do. My husband and I made a decision many years ago that, we don't go out to eat, we don't go to the movies, we don't travel, we're not very social people. And this is where our money goes, and we choose to do that, and we choose to spend money on the animals. We have a lot more animals than we ever anticipated. I will tell you that. There we go. So I can bring that up a little bit. So there was Myrtle's trip to the vet. The vet thinks she got stung by a scorpion or possibly ate a scorpion, but she most definitely was having an allergic reaction. She needed fluids and needed to be treated. Of course, it was either a Saturday or a Sunday night. It's in the blog. You can read the details. My husband left with her in the car at, 5:30 and got home at 11. It was a very long night. All in the same couple weeks, too. We had Libby's regular vet checkup and blood work, Libby's neurology appointment, which they also do particular blood work for one of her medications and go over her medications. And we have a canary named Zazu. And Zazu it looked like his bone was sticking out, but it turned out to be a feather cyst. But he had to go to the special bird vet, which is all the way the other side of town, and had to go twice because they couldn't do the operation the day they saw him. And this actually involved my husband taking him down, my parents picking him up. More often than not, I stay here with the animals. I also work from home. Somebody has to be here all the time, especially with Libby in case she has a seizure. If she has a seizure, you have to watch her and just kind of keep your hands around her. If she's on a couch, keep her from falling off, keep her from hurting herself, keep the other dogs away from her, help her to recover, and then give her her post-seizure medication. So somebody is always here. I hope you visit our website. You can read more about all the animals. We haven't been on vacation since 2013. It's just too difficult. So if you've watched all of this, thank you so much. Who knows? Maybe I'll edit it and it'll end up on the cutting room floor. We'll see. I'm going to tack the pig and chicken video at the end where I talk a little bit more about where the pigs and the chickens came from. So thank you again for watching. Stay tuned if you want to see that. Have a great day. Thanks. Hi, Bolton. Let's talk a little bit about our animals. Bolton and Bella come from Better Piggies Rescue. They're not too far from us. Bolton's nickname at the rescue was Stoner Pig. Look at his eyes. He always looks like that. He's very mellow. And there's Bella. Bella was a breeder pig who was returned several times. She's got a bit of an attitude. Bolton, could you not do that? So the pigs ruin everything. They like to dig, and they do get big. So there's no such thing as a micro mini pig. Sorry, I'm disturbing him. He's trying to get to the Cheerios. So if you ever hear a breeder say only feed them little bits to keep them small, that's really bad for the pig. You want to make sure that they get to eat the kind of food they eat and how much food they need to eat. They do love Cheerios. And our chickens, we're camera shy. Our chickens come from a friend who knows me on Instagram, who had a friend living in an HOA who had chickens who shouldn't have chickens. There you go. Thanks for helping me out, folks. Let's see if we can see the chickens, and then we're going to go ahead and head back for some cross-stitch stuff. Although we'll probably put this at the end. Hello. Yeah, we're afraid of the camera. The chickens have this lovely long run. My husband built that so they can go all the way down. It is completely covered, top and all sides, because we get hawks, owls, and occasionally a bobcat through the backyard. So we need to protect our chickens. Nice butt. Exactly. Thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy Halloween.